James Fitzgerald is a retired FBI criminal profiler. James, as you know, we're seeing a lot of heavy artillery going to this location, and they should be there momentarily. What about all the activity at the daughter's house? There seems to be an overwhelming amount of FBI and police officers there going door to door.
Yeah, Jesse, there's a lot of coordinated activity taking place today, probably over the last 48 hours, ever since these video pictures have become present and shown to the family. They're denying they know anyone that looks like that. We believe them, but something else is still attracting police. Now, apparently, bomb squad, as you said, and even the SWAT teams up to Annie's house for whatever reason. I don't know how big their property is, what kind of neighbors they have around there. Do they have problem neighbors? Is that someone who they're suspecting may be involved here? I know the family can't be ruled out, but the bottom line is with these videos, the monster of Tucson, and we finally have seen his face. All we got to do is take that mask off, and I think that may be coming sooner than later.
What did you see in his face? You saw a little mustache, some pretty well manicured eyebrows, they're saying.
Yeah, and I said all along this person was mission oriented to successfully complete this abduction, which he did. But looking at this video, it looks like it wasn't implemented all that smoothly, and this may explain now why there was that missing 41 minutes or so that this person may have been in the house. I don't think he's clever enough to put like a fake mustache in there or fake eyebrows of some sort. I don't think we have that level of sophistication here. I also don't think, you know, he's the guy that rips off the cell phones in the subway or steals the car, then turns it over to the big boss. They get $50 for what they do. If there is a second person involved, if this by chance is an actual kidnapping for profit, then this is just the muscle that goes in the door. He may have some muscles, but from what I'm seeing, how this guy is interacting on this camera, not too much in the way of brains, including how he's carrying the weapon, the backpack, which looks like a parachute. Who knows what else is in there? He should have duct tape or black electrical tape to put over the camera. Instead, he picks up some flora, you know, out of the garden. There's just nothing that makes sense about this guy, except that he's not a professional home invader or abductor in that regard. This is probably his first time, depending mostly on movies and TV shows, and not the very good ones either.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right about that. But if you were putting a guy up to something like this, why would you just send one guy to get an 84-year-old woman? Wouldn't you send more than one person?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about that. I have certainly in the last week on various forums. And what we can't see in these videos, at least so far, is any car in a driveway. I'd be very surprised if there was no vehicle involved. I mean, I don't know if this guy could walk with someone. I heard you talk about the fireman's carry later on, or straight out, you know, like someone else would carry the 150-pound Mrs. Guthrie. But as goofy as this guy looks on video, I mean, he may be a loner. I hate the word lone wolf, but just someone who came up with this in his mind, probably with psychological issues. I'm not trying to give a criminal defense here, but he probably has some issues, even picking up flowers, holding them up to the phone. At first, I thought maybe that was symbolic or ritualistic. I don't believe it's that. It says he did the electrical tape was buried too deep in the bag, and he couldn't get it out then, so he just put the flowers up and then somehow eventually got the camera itself off the wall.
Yeah, the flower move, that was pretty silly. James, thank you again for coming on Jesse Watters Primetime.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.